was never and my spirits rise. Alright, hello, happy Monday, fun day everybody, and welcome to this episode of Motivation Monday, the Nerd Gym live stream on the YouTube. So thank you so much for joining me. I am Coach Melanie Black. I'm here to answer your burning fitness questions. Your burning, itching, disgusting fitness questions. I am here for all of them. Today's question is about motivation. This one came to us through one of our members on Patreon. So thank you so much to all of our members who support us on Patreon. If you want to do that, hit us up on www.thenerdgym.com. Get access to lots of cool stuff, including live private Zoom classes. Now, this question is something that is near and dear to my heart. This is something that I think is so important to address, not only in general, but especially for 2020. Yeah. We are talking, of course, about motivation to exercise when you are depressed. Yeah. Now I should top this off, start this off, kick this off, begin this thing by letting you know that I am not a psychiatrist, a psychologist. I only tried therapy for like 1 month before I got really impatient with it. So I am not, by any stretch of the imagination, somebody who you should come to if you need like a clinical diagnosis for depression or actual advice for fixing the noggin. But what I am really good at is stuff having to do with mind-body connection and getting you to the gym, which will ultimately make you feel better because the mind and the body are connected. And yeah, I definitely personally have suffered in the past from panic attacks, and depression and all these things. It's been a rough year, y'all. It has been a rough year. We have had to go through so many changes, not only to our income level, but like housing and where the gym is located or not located and going virtual, blah, 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 blah. So many things. And now the election, the stress, So even if you're not like clinically depressed, you probably got a case of the blues from time to time, and that makes it very difficult to get and stay motivated to go to the gym. So the question, how to get motivated to exercise when depressed? That is what we are addressing today, and we have to start by addressing kind of the elephant in the room with this question, and that is, it might not be the right question to ask. Now, I know what you're getting at. I know what we want as the outcome. You're saying, I am depressed. There's a part of me, there's a rational part of my mind that knows that exercise will make me feel better, but how do I motivate myself to exercise when I'm depressed? So the thing that you have to first make sure that you get flipped in your mind, you probably know this on some level, but maybe it's not at the top of your mind, it's that you don't have to feel good to exercise. You exercise to feel good. This is really important to bring to the forefront of your mind when we're answering this question, because a lot of times, we see, especially when it comes to, fitness, cardio, videotapes, images, you see all these super happy, peppy people doing the thing. Follow me, I'm so freaking awesome and over the top, and it just makes you want to scream and kill them slowly. So yes, so understand that you don't have to be in that mindset to exercise. Exercise can sometimes do that to you. It can sometimes turn you into an obnoxious, happy person. Kind of depends on your base level personality. You can think of exercise almost like an amplifier for your personality. So if you have an obnoxious personality to begin with, guess what? Exercise is going to make you more obnoxious. If you've got a sweet personality, it's going to make you even sweeter. If you've got a crappy personality, well, we all know the stereotypes of those aggressive, aggro gym bros. So. There you have it. So it's not going to change your personality fundamentally. It will act as an amplifier. So you don't have to feel good to exercise, okay? But exercise does make you feel good, right? To say, how do I get motivated to exercise would be like saying, how do I get motivated to take my medicine? Which, again, is a real thing. If you're depressed, you don't want to do much of anything, and I totally get that. But first off, understand that you don't need to also, before you get to the working out, be in a good mood. You don't have to figure out how to change your mood before you begin your exercise. You can work out in a shit mood, and it's totally 100% fine. So just keep that in mind. It is okay to be in a shit mood and exercise. It's totally fine. Now, you do run into a little bit of an obstacle if you go to a physical gym with that, because there's definitely a certain amount of like social pressure, social expectations if you're going to be around other people in your environment. If you're a member of the Nerd Gym, though, we're doing all of our live online classes. You're in your own home. You don't have to talk to anybody, right? You log in. Of course, there's always like the fun question of the day, and you can engage in the chat and all that kind of stuff if you want to. But if you want to just be like, fuck off, I'm having a bad day and I'm just going to exercise, you don't have to engage with anyone. You're in your own space. You can just begin, and you can be in a grumpy ass mood, and I'm not going to call you out for that. That's fine. You're there. You're doing the dang thing, okay? So don't worry about getting into a good mood before you exercise. Don't need it. Okay. Now, let's start with our first tip. I'm going to give you 5 tips. 5 tips on how to get yourself to exercise when you're in a bad mood. Number 1 is give yourself permission to work out in a bad mood. Give yourself permission. You don't have to smile. You don't have to be nice to anybody. You can work out with your resting bitch face. It's fine. You can cry when you work out if you want to. It's fine. Again, it makes it a little bit socially awkward if you're going to a physical location, but if you're in your own home and you're on a Zoom call with me, and you've got mute on, like everybody has mute on our online classes because you might want to play your own music. And if you're crying while you're doing your squats, it's fine, as long as you're not hurting yourself doing your squats, right? You can be in a bad mood. It's okay. It's okay to be in a bad mood. We stigmatize being in a bad mood in this country, and that's not helping anyone's depression, in my non-medical opinion. So it's okay. Be in a bad mood. Who gives a shit? They can fuck off. All right. Number 2, give yourself permission to quit early, okay? So this goes for whether you are doing an online class or if you are going to a gym. If you give yourself permission, just give yourself permission to stop early, you will be more likely to show up. So you say, look, I'm gonna walk in the door, or I'm going to log into the class, whatever it is, and I'm just going to go. And you know what? If I get there and I say, you know what? I fucking can't today, then you can leave. And don't feel guilty about that, right? But getting there often is the hardest part. Once you're there and once you're moving, sometimes, not all the times, but I would dare say 9 times out of 10, pretty darn close to all the time, once you get there and you start moving, your mood will start shifting just enough that you can make it through at least. And then having done the exercise, you'll feel better afterwards. But you must give yourself permission to leave. You don't want to feel trapped. That's the last thing we need. We're already depressed. We're already in a bad mood. Things already suck. So you don't want to give yourself anxiety by saying like, oh, if I start, I can't stop, So give yourself permission to leave early. Again, if you're going to a physical location, it can be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're in a room full of people. You might want to talk to the instructor and say, hey, I'm having a bad day, or I might get called out or whatever. It's not anything with your class. It's just whatever. But if you're online, if you're doing one of the Zoom classes with us, you can hop in the chat box to let me know. You can just log out and say, whoops, technical difficulties. You don't have to let me know anything. As far as I know, your internet just went out or your battery ran low. I don't know, right? So make sure that you at least show up and give yourself permission to exit early. Also, if you're doing my classes, they're broken up into 20-minute increments. You can say, you know what, I want to do the whole 60-minute of exercise, but if I only get the first 20 minutes done or the second 20, whatever it is, just show up, do what you can, and give yourself permission to get out of there at any time. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3, put on some music, y'all. And this does not, again, this is not music to necessarily change your mood. If you're in a sad mood, go ahead and put on some sad music. Allow yourself to experience that a little bit. Any kind of music will help with your motivation, generally speaking, for exercise. So put on some sad music, put on some angry music, put on something that just allows you to feel what you're feeling, get a little bit of an attitude shift, and get it going. When we listen to music that is a good reflection of how we're feeling, we feel heard and we feel understood, and oftentimes that is half the battle when we're feeling terrible. So put on some music, any kind of music. It doesn't have to be peppy, upbeat, disco dance, workout music. In fact, that can actually make you feel worse. In my personal experience, my personal opinion is that if I am in a really bad mood and I put on some peppy music, even if it's peppy music that I like, it's still gonna make me feel worse, right? I am much better off listening to like The Cure or Rage Against the Machine or Nine Inch Nails or something that is in line with my mood if I'm in a bad mood, and ultimately that will help give me the motivation. Even if it doesn't make me feel better necessarily right away, it gives you a little bit of fire to move, to do something with your body, and that is what we're after, right? We're looking for the motivation to exercise when we're depressed. That was the original question. That's what we're talking about. All right, so put on some music. Number 4, fake it till you make it. Okay, now this one, I have a love-hate relationship with this phrase, fake it till you make it, because number 1, I love it because it rhymes. It gets the point across pretty quickly, but it's not so much faking it, in my opinion, the way I look at it. If you behave as if, then you will ultimately become that thing. But fake it till you make it will suffice. Essentially, you say to yourself, okay, here I am, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm sad, whatever it is, and I've said to myself, okay, I'm going to give myself permission to be angry and sad. It's fine. I don't have to be in a good mood to work out. I've given myself permission to leave the exercise class or the gym early, if that's what I choose to do. So I've given myself permission, number 1, to feel what I'm feeling and to get there and to leave early if I need to. So I have options. I'm not trapped, right? I put on some music, some good music that's got me feeling a slight shift, not a incongruency, but a slight shift to motivate to do something. And now I am going to go through the motions. I'm going to behave as if I am not depressed, as if this is just the thing that I do. If exercise is the thing that I want to do, I'm going to behave as if this is just a normal day and normal exercise is happening, right? And this can become important not only in the motivation to actually get to the gym, but also in things like your posture, right? So you give yourself permission to internally feel what you are feeling. You give yourself permission to leave early. So you're not being disingenuous to how you actually feel, but you say, okay, my outside movements, and I'm not even talking about facial expressions, don't worry about controlling that shit, but like your posture, your body, the movements that you take, just think about it like, okay, I'm conducting myself as if this is exactly what I want to do right now. Fake it till you make it. So in other words, you say, okay, I'm going to have good posture, I'm going to do these squats, I'm going to remember to breathe, I'm going to try to breathe in a way that is conducive to exercise and not in a way that reflects the mood that I'm feeling internally. So getting the body to operate as if things were normal and fine in the workout itself. This will not only increase the safety of your workout, but it can also then start to, again, direct that mood shift, nudge it just a little bit, right? So doing these things, it won't cure depression, it won't cure clinical depression or whatever, but it can give you a good mood shift if we do it the right way. Number one, just give yourself permission. Number two, listen to some music that is in line with what you're doing. And then begin to act as if, right? As if. I think I got those numbers mixed up. That's okay. We'll review them at the end. All right. Screen share. There we go. All right. So fake it till you make it. And then number 5, remove all obstacles. So these are not necessarily in order, these 5 tips. Number 5, I suppose, could come right after the music or after you give yourself, I don't know. In any case, remove all obstacles. So if you have physical obstacles in the way of you getting to the gym regularly, you want to make sure that you are getting those out of the way. Again, if you're not working out at home, you're going to have more obstacles, right? There's going to be things to consider like, oh, if I'm depressed, maybe I haven't showered in a couple of days and my body odor is rank, right? That means that I'm going to have to shower before I get to the gym. I'm going to have to put on clean clothes and shoes and do, and you're going to have to do all of these things before even stepping out the door, getting in the car, driving to the gym. So you want to reduce the number of steps as much as possible. This is actually the big reason why I'm a proponent of home workouts and working out online, because we can't smell you through the Zoom call. So you really reduce the number of obstacles in the way. And generally speaking, this I've done this for myself, and I've heard other people do the same. Is they will say like, it's the COVID times. We're all freaking at home being nasty, like forgetting to shower for a couple of days on end. But then you do a workout, you get your sweat going, you're like, dang, now I really smell and I'm all sweaty. Now I'm going to enjoy a shower, right? So it kind of prompts you like in reverse order to take a shower, do some self-care, and to do that after you're already feeling better too. So you do want to remove obstacles in that, like you want to make sure that you have your workout clothes clean and ready to go, and your shoes ready to go, and gas in the car, and all these things if you have to go through all those steps. Again, if you're working out at home, you have many, many fewer of those obstacles. If you're working out with me, I don't care if you're in workout clothes or not, just as long as you are clothed in some capacity and something that you can move in. So yeah, removing obstacles, making sure that the people in your life know when you're going to work out and kind of expect that to happen so that they don't inadvertently derail you by saying, oh hey, let me talk to you about this thing that has nothing to do with what you're supposed to be doing for your body right now or whatever. So anybody you live with, anybody who might get in the way there, meaning to or not, has the understanding and the expectation of what you're trying to do. That can be an obstacle. Whatever you physically need in your environment to get from point A to point B, making sure that your computer is turned on if you're doing the online classes. Sometimes like updates need to install and stuff, and it's like if you wake it up and it's like, oh, you need to install 1 million updates, and by the time that's done, the class that I wanted was half over, that kind of thing. So just make sure that you're aware of your obstacles and you remove them whenever you can. Okay, let's do a recap. Recapping all the things. Okay. My computer's so slow. Oh my god. Okay, so the original question, how do I get motivated to exercise when depressed? And again, my non-medical opinion, I am a personal trainer, not a psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. Number 1, remember you don't have to feel good to exercise. You exercise to feel good. It is the tool to feel better. You are not beholden or obligated to it to feel good, right? It goes the other way around. Number 1, give yourself permission to work out in a bad mood. It's okay. You can be in a bad mood the entire workout and afterwards, but you will still have done something good for your body, and chances are you will go through a mood shift during that time and feel somewhat better. Number 2, give yourself permission to leave early. You don't want to feel trapped. You want to make sure that you have at least given yourself permission to log out early or to leave the gym early, whatever the situation is, so that you can get there with less pressure on yourself. Number 3, put on some music. Again, you don't have to put on super happy peppy time music. Put on the music that is right for your mood, maybe like a notch above your mood, but not much more, or maybe even more intense. Like if I'm sad, I like to put on some angry music. I'm gonna put a mood shift that way, that kind of a thing, right? If I'm burnt out on anger, I'll maybe put on a sad song for a little bit to get myself to calm down a little bit so I'm not so amped up. So put on some music. Number 4, fake it till you make it. Behave as if, just with your body, not with your face, not with your emotions, but behave as if with your body that you are doing things in a normal way on a normal day. Like just going through the motions on the workout. Make sure your posture's right, your breathing's right. So we want to make sure to not reflect our bad mood in our body movements when we're exercising, okay? So when you actually get down, when the rubber meets the road, body movements when we're exercising, you want to make sure that you are going through the movements as if you're having a good day. All right. And then number 5, remove all obstacles. Make sure that if you have a lot of steps to take in between you and exercise, that you remove as many of those steps as humanly possible. You don't want to, on top of feeling depressed, have to take 15 extra steps, put on your Lululemons and your designer sneakers and take a shower and do your makeup and do your hair and show up to the club with a big smile on your face and and your mask and your sanitizer. I guess that's the one advantage if you're going to a gym right now is you would have the mask on so no one could see you cry beneath the mask. But yeah, remove as many obstacles as you can, especially if you're going to a physical gym location. If you're working out at home, just make sure that your computer's turned on, that you got your space cleared off, you got your floor space, all that good stuff. Okay. So, I hope that you found this interesting, informative. If you have questions of your own, hey, guess what? I want to hear them. I'm doing these lives every single day. Every day. So I want to hear what your questions are. If you are a member of the Nerd Gym, thank you so much for your continued support through Patreon. If you would like to become a member, go to www.thenerdgym.com and support us there. If you're listening to this right now on YouTube, on the replay or live, please go ahead, like, subscribe, click the bell icon, thumbs up, thumbs down, comment. Please interact with me. Oh my God. No, yeah, no, you're fine. You don't have to interact with me. It's okay. I can be here all by myself. No, do what feels right in your heart and in your lungs. And I will see you on the next one. I will see you tomorrow, and we will talk about, what is tomorrow? Tuesday. Okay, Tasty Tuesday. We're going to talk about some nutrition topic. I'm not sure what it is yet. I will go ahead and schedule that after I'm off of this one. So if you're curious about what's coming up tomorrow, check it out. Send me your questions. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye. Ba-da-ba, 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 ba-da-ba.